раз, я вас вначале представляю, потом уже по порядку все говорим. Просьба говорить не быстро, медленно, средним темпом, потому что на синхронный перевод. Вот. И когда то есть условно до 5 минут у вас есть на каждого, потом, возможно, будет какой-то вопрос или комментарий, тогда я уже разберусь. Шановні колеги, ми будемо продовжувати роботу. Тема наступної події – презентація результатів
We will continue our work, the results of the first project of rehabilitation. Our guests are Andres Siplane, Estonian Ministry of Defense, Teet, Lainevee, Director of Seli Health Center, Oleksiy Martsyniuk, Senior Seaman, Armed Forces of Ukraine, Yuriy, Bielyenko, Major, Armed Forces of Ukraine. Mr. Andres and Mr. Teet, the floor is yours. Good afternoon. To start the topic, what's happening in Ukraine, what is taking place in Ukraine for us is also scary. And as the country, why did we start the project? We as the country, as your friends, we want to show that you are not alone with your problems. We are with you, and that is one thing that we can do. On the other hand, in Estonia, the doctors have a little more time than your doctors have. They are looking at these wounds differently, and they can find some ways to improve the situation. In Estonia, in this project, we had 40 soldiers participating. It's difficult to say how that was efficient, but I believe that we do have some results. And as the people, Estonians or Ukrainians, once we visit each other, once we find friends, then our people will become richer. And to work on such a project is useful for all of us. Thank you. Now, Teet, Lainevee, the floor is yours. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure for us. This is the second year already that we've been treating Ukrainian soldiers when they got wounds, very serious wounds. And maybe a few words I will tell about our center. That is the Center of Rehabilitation, Seli Health Center, and it's subordinate to the Ministry of Defense of Estonia. We are located in old building where we started treating servicemen 96 years ago. For the first time, we were treating the soldiers that suffered in the liberation war of Estonia. And now our military, our servicemen, and Ukrainian servicemen are being treated there for the second year. We have 50 beds, half of those who are being treated, these are people who were repressed in Siberia, in other camps during the Second World War. And after that, and now, our servicemen and Ukrainian servicemen are there. Our treatment is very up-to-date. We have 24 people, our personnel. We have nurses. We have physiotherapists, massage specialists, massage specialists, water therapy, solar chamber, and other ways of treatment. We have a gym, and we hope that during 2 weeks that our guests stay there, help them. What could you say? Does it help? And in the future we will continue this work, and maybe our doctors who are interested in different types of diseases, they also receive some benefit. So I'm the director of that center, and at the same time I'm the doctor myself, and I know what serious wounds people get, and we do all we can to somehow help. Thank you.
I invite to the microphone Mr. Oleksiy Martsyniuk. Good afternoon. I would like to compare our rehabilitation centers with the Estonian center. I had a possibility to visit Ukrainian rehabilitation centers in Khmelnyk and Estonian one. Maybe the treatment in itself is not different so much, while the level of comfort and the level of attitude, that the warm attitude and warm treatment is very much different. And I had a possibility to attend Estonia twice. The first time was the first session was so successful that it was decided that the second stage would be started earlier. And very soon after the first rehabilitation course, I attended the Rehabilitation Center Seli for the second time, and the quality of treatment was so good that the medical commission left me in the army service in a special unit, of course, but nevertheless, this shows the quality of treatment. In the treatment center, we had the possibility not just to receive treatment and rehabilitation course, but also we had some entertainment program, sightseeing program. We had very good personnel there. there was very interesting course of the physical fitness activities, and that professor who took care of me, he was so much surprised that my rehabilitation was so effective that I was not recognized and got a status of a disabled person, but I even was allowed to continue my military service and even invited to the special forces, to Alpha unit forces in our army, which again demonstrates how efficient this rehabilitation course was. During my second visit, Ukrainian embassy in Estonia did not devote to us much attention, unlike, by the way, Estonian side. They welcomed us very warmly. Their hospitality was very warm. I would like to give the floor to Yuriy Bielyenko. Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to say thank you for this opportunity to express my gratitude and express my wishes, my best wishes to you. I wish you all the best, including long-term peace. I would like to express my heartwarm gratitude to our friends from Estonia who provide us with this opportunity to receive treatment. For many, our servicemen from ATO zone. By the way, they provide not just a physical rehabilitation, but also psychological rehabilitation. In Estonia, the rehabilitation is offered in Seli, very beautiful place where the military hospital is located, which is under umbrella of the Ministry of Defense of Estonia, and we are very grateful for that high quality treatment, rehabilitation, and psychological support. I would like to express my big gratitude to director of this center, to Mr. Teet, Lainevee, and I would like to thank to Anastasia and all those forces, to all those people who participate in this medical rehabilitation project. I won't describe in much detail, but as Oleksiy mentioned, the warm hospitality showed to us was so heartwarming, so pleasant. We felt like we were in the native land there. I would like to thank Mr. Andres, with whom I spent much time. Where we visited many countries, many places in Baltic countries. We delivered lectures, and everywhere we were met with hospitality. People expressed interest in Ukrainian experience. By the way, we could share very precious experience both from the front line and from our hospital experience. Each time we expressed our willingness that this experience won't be shared by other countries in practice, only in theory. I should say that the anti-terrorist operation, how we call it, is quite, and traumas and wounds, injuries got in result of this war are very much different from the types of injuries which were committed in course of other wars. This is again very practical side which we can share with our colleagues, and we do our best to share this experience with medical workers, military medical workers from Estonia and from Baltic countries. I would like to thank to the hospital personnel who for their attention, for their for the level of discipline which they demonstrated. And I would like to express my gratitude to this personnel and ask Mr. Director to mention this, my gratitude to them. I should say that this is very strong institution. They have a lot of strength in medical treatment, in psychological support of patients, and in humanitarian approach to their patients, in their readiness to help to sister nation. And we now know that in case of any expansion, many Ukrainian servicemen will be ready to provide military assistance. Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, maybe you have questions.
I have the first question. I would like to understand how many people participated in the project on both sides, those who were rendering assistance and receiving such assistance. How many Estonian doctors participated in this project? Tallinn. The doctors of Tallinn Republican Hospital, traumatologists, consultants, these were the doctors of Tallinn Northern Regional Hospital. But we have two doctors, physiotherapists, and one is finishing her training in Birmingham, England, and she will get a diploma there. And the second one also has a very good education. The doctors are appointed so we are very closely cooperating with the Ministry of Defense. Andreas will talk about that. And I would like to say that every time, well, we had already 9 rotations when Ukrainian servicemen were coming to us. Whenever the Ukrainian servicemen arrive, the Ukrainian ambassador to Estonia are always meeting them. And when they leave, they don't stay there. They leave in 3 weeks. Then again, Ukrainian ambassador and the deputy ambassador and consul are there. For us, it is very important, and I believe it is very important for the servicemen, for soldiers, officers, sailors. And the Ukrainian Minister of Foreign Affairs also visited our center. And after the official speech, I suggested to the Minister of Foreign Affairs just have a look at our center. For that, for half an hour he was talking. And he made a choice, and it was very important for us as well. It's better to talk to servicemen than looking at some center. So we are doing everything we can, and I believe that there is some benefit from that. I would add, we have different allies in Estonia, Germans, Americans, Englishmen, French, all of them are there. And sometimes we visit different military bases in Estonia. We have, for example, German pilots with their airplanes and the British with their tanks. And to entertain people in the hospital, we organize some sightseeings to these places. I don't know how Ukrainians, whether it was interesting for them to see a German aircraft. But they go and they, it seems that they are interested. But another objective is all these allies, they want to meet Ukrainians. And for us, for Estonians, that's important to show to Americans, to Germans, that that's life. That is what life is about. That is what's happening in Ukraine. That our allies should understand what the reality is. Thank you. If you have any other questions, you're welcome. Yemets Maria, UCMC. First of all, I would like to thank you for your assistance.
Я поняла, что было всего 9.
Do I understand it correctly? There were 9 rotations of soldiers who were there, and the total was 40 persons. It's about 7-8 persons who go there.
У нас 4-5.
4-5 servicemen, that's one rotation. We have very few beds. And we just allocate 5 beds for Ukrainians. In the future, maybe it will be able to allocate more. Every year, we have 800-900 patients. who received this rehabilitation therapy. And when I yesterday left, we had a line of servicemen who are to receive the rehabilitation therapy. Thank you. No more questions. So thank you, friends. See you soon, I hope.